Right then, we are on. So I'll just scroll down to the chat here. Get this up as well, see if we're alright. Yeah, we're alright on there, aren't we? Got me 2 likes today, so then should look a little bit better. I noticed on, I don't know, about 2 or 3 of the streams previously that it was looking a little bit pixelated. I just happened to click onto one of them and I saw, you know, it was just a bit pixelated. I thought, I really need to sort that out because I do know how to sort that out. So, yeah, basically I've just got these, my 2 photography lights from the other room, brought those in, so hopefully the stream should look a little bit less pixelated on me. Generally it's just because of the lighting on the green screen. If the green screen isn't lit properly, then it just goes to pot, to be honest. So yeah, I've got these in. I don't know whether I'm going to bring these in every week, but if I do, it would make it look a little bit better for you guys, so I might do that. But yeah, so I've got them in, so hopefully it does look a little bit better today. Anyway, we will have a look who's in the chat. So we've got, this is a very personal skit. I think I've seen them in the comments. I don't know whether I've seen them in a live chat before, maybe I have. But hi there, it says, hi, I'd hope to catch you live. I think that was a couple of hours ago he wrote that, so I don't know whether he's in anymore. We've got Peter Ray was in a couple of hours ago as well, saying he won't be able to join today, but that's fine. Obviously, it is the 27th of December, so, you know, I don't know how many people are going to be in. I don't necessarily think... oh, Pommy Pickers just says there, are we live? Yeah, I think we are. Is it okay? Is it coming across your end okay? It's saying its stream status is good at my end, so, yeah, hopefully we are. So, yeah, what was I saying, man? Yeah, so it's 27th of December and all that, so I don't expect there to be loads of people coming in the chat, but anyone who is here, thank you very much for spending around, you know, Christmas time for an hour with me on this stream. I very much appreciate it, because obviously it is still that sort of Christmas time, so I'm sure there's plenty of better things you can be doing than spending time listening to me ramble. But yeah, I very much appreciate it all the same if you are joining me. I did say last week that I wanted to do, I can't wait for a Christmas time when Thursday Talks is on the 25th of December. Now, it was quite funny because I actually looked into the year that Thursday Talks will be on the 25th of December, so I could do a Christmas Day live stream of Thursday Talks. And because on... basically next year Christmas Day is on a Wednesday, then the year after it's then basically the year after is a leap year. I think it's the 2020 is a leap year. So what that does is it means that Christmas Day then skips the Thursday and it's on the Friday. So it goes in 2019, Christmas Day is on a Wednesday, and on 2020, 2020, it's on a Friday. So it just skips out the Thursday because 2020 is a leap year, right? And obviously, therefore, we get an extra day, so it moves the calendar on like an extra day. So it means that the next Thursday to be on the 25th of December is like 2026 or something. I don't even know, like, it's a long way off. So, yeah, there won't be any Christmas Day special episode of Thursday Talks for a long while, like 8 years or something. But on that day, on like the 25th of December 2026 or whenever it is, if I'm still doing Thursday Talks, which I bet you I am, I will be doing it I'll be live streaming on the 25th of December, even if it's just for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. I really want to do it. I just really want to do a live stream on Christmas Day. I don't know why, it's just something I really want to do. I have considered doing a live stream on New Year's Eve, like, to do the countdown thing, but I don't know, because, to be honest, if no one's watching it, like, most people will be out at parties and stuff anyway, there's not really much point in me sitting on a live stream on my own, but it is one of those things, like, on my YouTube bucket list that I'd love to do. But anyway, so I'll just quickly have a look in chat. We have got a few different topics to talk about today, so I will get into that in a sec. So we've got George Ross in the chat as well. He just basically says, hope everyone's having a good Christmas. Won't be able to catch live. Don't worry about it, George. So we've got Morgan adds my hero. Are you, is that the first time in the chat, Morgan? I don't think I've seen you in the chat, so welcome if it is. Tap Peddler we've got in there, which is Derek. Oh, also, I need to thank people for the Christmas gifts and the Christmas cards and everything. So, basically... I'm actually wearing a few Christmas presents as well. But basically, I got loads of Christmas gifts and Christmas cards from resellers. I did do a post on Instagram basically saying thanks to everyone, you know, saying that I'm really, really grateful of all the presents, but I know there might be a couple of people who aren't on Instagram, so they might not have seen that post. So yeah, I just want to show my gratitude towards everyone, all the resellers, or even just all my friends and family and stuff who've got me presents this year. I'm very, very thankful of it. I was completely overwhelmed when I received, like, I think it was about 6 or 8 gifts from different resellers, and also I received about 4 or 5 different cards from people as well, just, you know, random viewers as well, just sending me cards. So I was really, really grateful of that. I didn't expect anything like that. I was more than happy just to send the gifts that I sent out and giving a smile on people's faces from those gifts, hopefully. But I was so overwhelmed, really, and so humbled by the generosity of other people just giving to me as well. So yeah, I just want to say that as well if you didn't catch my Instagram post. So yeah, I hope everyone else got... David says, hope you got mine ads. I know the one you're referring to. I was wondering whether that was from you or not, so now I actually know it was from you. So thank you very much, David. Yes, I did get yours, and I did see the little drawing that you put on it. I won't share what that drawing was, but yeah, I did see the little drawing you put on it as well. Yeah, very funny. We've got Death by Glamour in there. Oh, people are flooding in now. We've got Shazad in there. We've got Bumcrap Picker BCP. I was torn between saying BCP or Bumcrap Picker, so I kind of stumbled then. Yeah, so did everyone have a good Christmas first off? Oh, and will you take lessons in there? Hi everyone, is that a Tico's your hat? You know, that is not the first time someone's actually said that. Actually, let me flip back onto me so I can actually see the hat. Yeah, it does look kind of, yeah, it's very big, isn't it? But, yeah, my God, my dad said that, my grandma said that, my other grandma said that. I actually had it on, I had my headphones on under it, and then I had this, like, basically over my headphones, so it looked even bigger. But I really do like this. This is one of my Christmas presents. I got it from Mel at Sparrow's End. It's actually handmade, and yeah, I really like this one. It does look like that. It's kind of because it's made out of... well, I don't know what wool it's made out of, but it obviously she's crocheted it, so it must be like really thick wool. But yeah, I really like this one, and it is really, really warm actually. That is a massive bonus of these hats. So yeah, this is one of the Christmas presents, and also this is, now you know me, look at that there, that's Ralph Lauren, that's Ralph Lauren. I do not wear branded stuff, or if I wear branded stuff, I get it from a charity shop, because... you know, I don't really buy into the whole branded stuff, to be honest. I don't do that, you know. It's fine if you do, but it's just, you know, it's materialistic for me and it doesn't serve much purpose. Now, there's the argument to be made that, yeah, okay, it's better quality and stuff like that. And some brands are, other brands maybe not so, but... for me personally, I don't buy into the whole branded stuff, but my friend Daniel, Daniel and Ryan actually put the money together and got me this, so that was very nice. I've always kind of wanted a Ralph Lauren, you know, Ralph Lauren jumper or shirt, whatever, and I've sold them before, obviously, but I never actually, you know, I've never actually bought one myself, so it was quite nice to get this actually, and I have to say, it is good quality, so I might end up in the next few years changing my opinions on this branded stuff, and I might end up buying more of it, but yeah, at the moment I won't do, because I don't like, you know, like, for example, if you've got X amount of money, X amount of capital, whether you know, that's in your business or whatever, I feel if you're spending, you know, 50 quid, 100 quid, 150 quid on a handful of items of clothing, or maybe even more than that, maybe 250 quid, and you're getting, you know, 5, 6, 7 pieces of clothing, that's a lot of money to take out of your business that you could have reinvested in stock, that you could have made an investment on, that you could have done anything else on to aid your financial future, essentially. So that's generally why I have a problem with branded stuff. But you know, as I progress and I get a little bit more money, I think I'll ease up on that a little bit. But no, I have to say this is very good quality. and I'm very, very happy to receive it because I did want a Ralph Lauren thing, but you know me, I just can't stomach the cost. But I just don't like spending money. That's my problem, unless it's on stock or anything like that. So we've got who else have we got in here? We've got Mark in there. We've got Pommy Pickers. I think I said them. And that's about everyone. Sure, it's not fake. No, it is not a fake. It had the tag on, the Ralph Lauren tag thing. It's not a bloody fake, for God's sake. Right then. Okay, I'm back. Oh, did Death by Glamour go? I'll be right back. Beanie Man ads. Someone got a new hat and a Ralph Lauren top quiz. Yeah, I did, yeah. Right, so, looks like one your great granny would wear. Looks like Rasta Mouse. Oh my god. Right, yeah, so I do want to get onto the topics, otherwise I'll forget. So, I want first off, actually, you know what? First off, because I normally forget to do this, I will actually go up top and see what the title was. It was, I put the title about 3 hours ago, so I've already forgot. Buying with no profit margins in mind. So, this morning, I'll give you some context. I was listening to Alan Watts, as I mainly do. Well, I do. I've not been listening to him for about 3 or 4 weeks now. If you don't know, Alan Watts is a philosopher. He's a, basically, well, yeah, just a philosopher. I won't go into it too much, because I'll probably end up saying something he's not, or attributing something towards him that he wasn't. But basically a philosopher, and loads of lectures on YouTube. I've been watching them for months. It's really expanded my mind in terms of religion and spirituality and all the rest of it. And I was watching one of his well, not watching, but listening to one of his lectures. And essentially, what arose for me was this kind of idea that over the last few years, the last maybe 2 years or so, when I first started reselling, and I want to check in the chat whether you guys also felt like this. So, when I first started reselling, I didn't do reselling for any other reason than I thought it was a cool idea. I thought it was a cool concept to buy and sell something, right? That's the only reason I did it. And when I got into it, I loved the packaging, I loved the selling, I loved the listing, I loved all of it. I was engrossed in it. I was enthralled by reselling. I absolutely loved it. And I wanted to know, before I get into this, what did you guys, when you guys started reselling, was it purely for the money? Was it a motivation of reselling itself? So just the concept of buying and selling something, just buying and selling something, and just the act of buying and selling, and just feeling really like happy just to be doing that? Or was it, maybe just like you liked a certain product or whatever, and you wanted to be around it more, whatever it may be? Why did you guys actually start reselling? Because for me, I know it was very much a case of, I just liked the idea of a concept of buying one thing and then selling it, even the process of listing, packaging, etc., like I just said. So it'll be interesting just to see, basically, like, how you guys started, and what was that philosophy, what was that idea of why you started reselling? What was the deep inside feeling? Was it really about the money, or was it about the act of reselling, essentially? Because it's interesting. Shazad said, all about the money, I really enjoy selling. Right, okay, fair enough. So, you said that you really enjoy selling, so you really enjoy the concept of... So, for you, it's like a bit of both, right? So, you really enjoyed the concept of buying and selling, just buying and selling as an act, and just, picking up products, selling them, etc., whatever it may be, with wholesale, with, used goods or whatever, it doesn't really matter, just that concept of buying and selling. But also you were focused on, this could make me a lot of money, and if I put X amount of hard work in, I'm going to get, a good amount of money from this, right? So that's fair enough. So it's kind of like somewhat a little bit of both for you. So we've got love the thrill of the hunt, them making money, always have. So again, Pommy Pickers there. It's the thrill of the hunt, but it's also the money. So that's quite interesting to hear. Gemma Lou says, I wanted to work for myself, and this was the most accessible thing. That's a good one. That's pretty awesome. I do love all of it, though. Yeah, very true. So, essentially, you've got a lot of people that are saying, or we've got a few people there that are saying, it's kind of the concept of it matched with money, matched with the process, matched with basically everything, essentially. And why I started reselling, as I mentioned, was the concept of it. I didn't necessarily, it's weird, I didn't necessarily like think about the money too much. I just thought the money would come from the concept of it. Now, what I wanted to go on to talk about is obviously the topic that I've chosen, obviously buying items with no profit margin in mind. Essentially, I feel over the past year or so, I've changed from loving the concept of buying and selling to just basically loving the money more than the buying and selling. And in loving the money more, I've become less motivated in my buying and selling. So I'll explain a little bit. So essentially, when you're selling what you love, it's very easy to sell a lot of it and make a lot of money, essentially. But when you're actually like starting to think about the money more, some people that motivates them massively, right? Money will motivate them hugely, and they'll go, the sky's the limit, they'll go to the moon kind of thing. But when I started to think more about the money, I got less and less and less motivated. And then I ended up spiraling down into, results weren't getting fulfilled for me. Things weren't happening as well as they were when I was a little bit less focused on the money, more focused on the actual product. So this is where the topic comes in. So essentially, what I want to get back to doing in the new year is buying from auctions like I've been doing for a very long time, dealing with products that I love, but less focused on the money. Now you might be thinking, whoa, hold on a minute, this is crazy. And it is a little bit crazy, right? But I think it's good to have a little bit of crazy. And I'm not saying that anyone else should do this. This is purely based on what I feel I need at this moment in time. And it's not necessarily a good business decision, but I think that this is going to help with my motivation. So what I want to do in the new year is I want to go to auctions and I want to buy with less the value of, the kind of the cost price in mind that I'm buying the items for. I want to immerse myself in the items, in the community of going to the auctions. Actually, like, when I go to viewing days, I want to spend like 8 hours there rather than just spending, 2 or 3 hours there like I have done. And I want to talk to people in the room. I want to get to know different people. I want to share knowledge with people. Obviously, there'll be loads of people there who can help me massively with knowledge. And when I'm buying the items, I want to buy them because I love that item, but also that I can see a small profit margin in it. So I'm not necessarily going to go completely like, oh, I'll get no profit on this item. There will be a subtle hint of, I've got to think of profit margin a little bit, but I want to really buy the items, learn about the items massively, really kind of absorb myself in the item, because that's why I started reselling. I started reselling because I love the process of buying and selling. I love learning about the different items, and that was the major factor for me for starting reselling, as well as things like Gemma said, working for yourself. That was a huge one for me. Obviously, not having a boss and stuff like that. But it was never about this amazing experience to get rich or anything like that. It's not been about that for me, and over the last year or so I feel like my intentions have changed more towards that, and because of that I've not been getting the results because I've not been genuine to myself. So if we think about, I'm going to the auctions, I'm buying I'm buying items, I'm immersing myself more in the viewing days and talking to different people, and I'm buying items, I'm buying quality items, I'm buying standard items as well. And yes, maybe at first I'm not necessarily concentrating on profit margins too much, but then as I've been doing this for maybe even only 2 months or so, I'll start to naturally progress into actually getting back into that zone of, right, I'm actually earning X amount of money now because I have more knowledge And also now I'm thinking more of my profit margins again because I've got that knowledge and I've got more understanding on the market. But I feel like at the moment I'm lacking in understanding on the certain things in the auctions that I'm actually buying. And I could essentially hold myself back and pick different items off when they become available in terms of a decent profit margin there. But if I really want to throw myself into it, I think I've just got to kind of buy up as much as I can, not thinking too much about profit margins and just getting me items for the experience and the knowledge that I need that will then pay me back fourfold, tenfold, whatever you want to say, in over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But at the moment, I'm holding myself back a little bit because I think, oh, well, I can't buy that today from the auction because it's gone over X amount. And there may still be a good profit margin in it, but because I've got that psychological barrier there, I can't even spend that extra 1 bid up or that extra 2 bids up. But would still give me a profit margin. Maybe not an incredible profit margin, but also it would give me a better level of experience because I could actually hold that item in my hand. I could research it more. I could really get to grips with what it is. I could get to grips with its flaws or whatever it may be. Or maybe the different traits on a certain item that distinguish it from, you know, an antique item to a vintage item, etc. Now, I'm sure people in the chat are going absolutely crazy at me and thinking, why the hell would you do that, right? But I just had this revelation this morning when I was listening to this lecture, and Alan Watts was saying something about, about like sort of money and chasing money and stuff like that. And it made me realise that I didn't start this to chase money. I started this because it's a lifestyle that I enjoy. I started this because I wanted to sell items that I enjoy, and I found antiques and I found vintage items and I absolutely loved them, and I still do love them. And you know, I feel like I need to immerse myself in the art and the history and the different pieces and the information and the knowledge and all that sort of side of it, rather than the money side of it, which will end up coming, as I say, fourfold, tenfold, whatever, from the knowledge and the experience and the hard work that I put into understanding the things that I love. So essentially what I'm saying is, if I start to really focus on the items and love the items, then the money will come from that eventually. But I don't know, I might be talking complete crap. Someone can shoot me down in the chat if you want. Ads, you need to be focused on gaining more profit. And see, I knew David had something to say on this. Ads, you need to focus on gaining more profit and getting some savings together so you can move out. Your poor parents, I think 2019. For God's sake, David, I'm only 22. It's not like I'm living at home and I'm 28, for God's sake. My God. Anyway, yeah, I know I am considering moving out more and more every year, but at the end of the day, I am 22. A lot of people move out at like 25, 26, 27, 28. There's still some people living with their parents at 30. So I'm not putting a major amount of pressure on myself to move out at the moment. I am, as I say, I am thinking about it, and I even like over the last few months, I've been considering buying a house more and more. I've even looked on like Zoopla and, or is it Zoopla? What is it? Is it Zoopla? Is it the ZOOPLA one or so? I don't know. Is that Zoopla? I don't know. But it's one of them anyway. And I looked on, Rightmove was the other one. But I have been looking and I've been familiarising myself with it. But I don't want to pressure myself with that at the age I am now. I know some people move out when they're 18. I get that as well. But I think moving out is something that has to be done at the right time. It's like having kids. You know, you think to yourself, right, have I got fairly stable finances now? Again, you could argue there's no real right time to have kids, but there's always that time where you think, right, I'm fairly financially stable now, I've got my own house, I've got this, I've got, you know, I've got X thing, I've got a little bit of backup money or whatever, so it seems like as good a time as any to have kids right now. I feel like that's the same with moving out. I feel like, right, am I in a good stable mind frame? Am I in a good place financially? Have I got a little bit of backup money? If for whatever reason, you know, I can't pay the mortgage or whatever one month, I've got a little bit of backup savings or whatever it may be. Have I got X, Y, and Z? And then you can make an informed decision on whether you feel it's like the right time to move out. But to be honest, for me, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself because, as I say, still 22. When I get over that line of like, you know, 24, 25, I'll definitely be like, right, it's starting to get on now. I think I do need to start thinking about that definitely, like, more seriously, and get more sort of things into gear. But also I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know whether I want to move out on my own. Like, I don't know whether I'd quite like to meet someone, have a little bit of time with them kind of thing, and then move out together, because also that gives you the kind of the ability to have two incomes going as well, so it's easier to pay for a house and all that sort of stuff. And if I met someone who was employed, I don't know this by fact because I'm not all well up on the, you know, getting a mortgage and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that if they were employed and they had a steady income coming in, that would at least help us get a house, rather than just me buying a house on my own, being self-employed, and, you know, the bank saying like, oh, you can't get a mortgage because of this or whatever. You know how it is. Like, I've heard all these stories of people being self-employed. It's incredibly hard to get a mortgage. So yeah, so I'm not like major putting pressure on myself, but it certainly is something definitely like in the I'd say sort of like the next 3 to 5 years. So it's not necessarily super long term, but it is like in that long term range that I seriously consider within that sort of time frame, and then mildly consider leading up to that time frame. So the next 2 or 3 years, I mildly consider it. I have a look at things, as David did say, I gain more savings, etc., to lead up to that, and then I take the plunge and do it. But yeah, it's definitely a good point, David. But as I say, I'm not pressuring myself too much with it. Networking also adds a lot of profit in the long term. Oh, Gemma says that. Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. You still need to turn some coin, though, ads. Yeah, it is true. I think that the title was a little bit... when I wrote it, because I had just listened to this, you know, this kind of audio, and I was feeling quite passionate. I wrote it and I was like, you know, I was still in that passionate mindset of like, oh yeah, I've been doing this completely wrong, I don't need to get money. And I wrote, you know, I'm going for like no profit margin. I don't mean I'm not going for like no profit margin. I'll still be aware that I've got to make a profit. But what I'm trying to say is that I want to not hold myself back too much and try and go for the items, even if there's not as much profit margin in certain items. You know, I'll still be buying the boxes and stuff, and the boxes I can make fantastic profit on anyway, even if they do go a little bit higher, because there's always good items in that. But what I'm talking about is like, you know, the pieces in the cabinets and stuff where they sometimes go a little bit too high, and then you kind of, I don't know whether this happens to you, but I kind of hold myself back and I think, oh, well, there's not too much profit left in that, so I better not buy it. And that is a good response, don't get me wrong, that's a good response. But if I want to learn about those items, I really want to learn about them, sometimes I feel like you have got to pay up a little bit just for that knowledge and that experience and that kind of education, essentially. And I feel like I do need to do that a little bit. But, you know, things like buying the boxes from auctions, I'm always going to be buying them. I'm always going to be getting decent money back from them. Because even if you do, like, with an auction box, like, you know, let's say it's a lot that has 2 boxes worth of stuff in it. And then it goes for, like, even if it goes up to, like, 30 quid or something, which is quite high, you know, for what that is. But even if it goes for 30 quid, in the auction house that I go to, there's plenty of stuff in there. Like, even if 2 boxes go pretty high, which would be about £30, there's still like 150 quid's worth, 200 quid's worth of stuff in there. So on the boxes, it's not an issue. But what, you know, if I'm refining what I'm talking about, it is more the cabinet stuff. And I feel like I'm not leaping enough into that cabinet stuff. And I feel like it is this kind of maximum bid mentality that's just keeping me back a little bit, and it's meaning that I can't expand my knowledge base in the way I want to, or the speed I want to, because I really do want to dive into this now. I really want to gain some knowledge, and not necessarily gain it like overnight, but certainly over the course of a year or so. I want to gain more knowledge next year than I gained this year. And the only way I'm going to do that is by loosening myself up to what I'm buying and to some of the items that I'm going to be, you know, the profit margins of some of the items that I am buying. So, you know, it it's one of those risky things. It's one of those somewhat stupid things as well. I would agree it is a little bit dumb in one respect, but at the same time, I'm looking long term and I'm thinking of the knowledge it'll give me just from sacrificing a little bit of that from time to time, and I really do feel it'll pay dividends in the future, kind of thing. But anyway, so for me, it was being, this is Death by Glamour. For me, it was being able to use a decade of experience running a business for somebody else, for my own business and my own benefit. Plus, I don't need to pay for childcare. Yeah, it seems that that's a big theme, doesn't it? Like, a lot of people say about the childcare thing. Like, it seems like, I mean, I don't know anything about childcare, so I wouldn't know. But from what I've heard different people say, it seems like childcare is a huge cost. And if you go out to work, like, it seems to suck up a lot of your earnings that you're going out to the, you know, you're basically working and it's just sucking up a large amount of your earnings. So doing the working from home, I suppose that is a huge benefit as well. And it might even be a huge consideration to why you actually do reselling, you know. So, yeah, that's quite interesting. Ads. Ryan's gift didn't arrive before Xmas. You got tracking info. Ryan's gift? Did he send me? I haven't got his... I haven't got his gift, but I don't have any tracking info either, because no one gave me any tracking info. So I might have to, maybe I'll have to message him. You're not joking, are you? And then you're gonna make me message him, aren't you? I bet you're joking just to make me message him and say, "Where's my gift?" And then he'll be like, "What gift?" And I'm like, "Oh, for God's sake, David said you had a gift, and now I look like a right dick because I'm asking about where I'm demanding me gift, you know." But anyway, I was buying and selling since I was at school, got more into it to fund my gaming collection, and then got the bug for it. And I suppose it is exactly like that, isn't it? It's like this bug that you, when you first start, especially it is when you first start, if you really do enjoy reselling, you're really passionate about it and you really do love it, it is just like having a bug, this like crazy itch for something. Like, you've just got to do it. You've got to absorb it. You just want to do it all the time. You want to, like, I remember I was getting up really early when I first started the business, and I was like just packaging everything, because obviously I had it in this room at that point, and I was just packaging and I was listing new items, and it's just like this intense desire, you know, to just keep doing it, this burning desire to just keep doing it, because you just love it, you know, you just really do love it, and you want to you want to make it a successful business. You want to do it just for doing it. You want to see how many different items you can pick up. You want to see what profit margins you can get on certain items. You want to try and expand your best sales and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's very much like that. It's a good way of putting it, to be honest. So I think that's it. Oh, David bought in at 3p. It's now 3k. No, he didn't buy in at 3p. What are you on about? That was like 2009 3p or something. No, 2010. I had to watch a crypto ad to get here. Oh, did you? What? Yeah, because that must be personalized. All the ads on YouTube for me are like 90% of them are crypto ones. Because basically, I think it personalises the ads, doesn't it? Based on, is it browsing data or cookies or something? I don't know, but I think it personalises. Is that even a word? I don't know. It sounds weird. Personalises. I don't know. Anyway, it basically tailors it to your kind of what you watch and where you go online, I think. But yeah, mine are all basically crypto ads. I'm frightened to look at my Bitcoin, thinking of selling what's left and buying magic beans. You've actually got some Bitcoin, will you take left? Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty. I would just not look at it for a few months, because I think I won't go into crypto again here, but I think we've got a few more months left of either sideways action or going down a little bit further. So just don't look at it, or put your Bitcoin into some proof of stake coins and let them earn a little bit of passive income for you, and just ride it out. And then when we get to like 2020, it'll be a bit better again. But yeah, basically, as soon as the bear market starts, like when we have another bull market and then the bear market starts again, basically just sell and just get out and then wait like 12 months and then buy back in again. That's what I should have done properly, but I didn't because I was too addicted to crypto. And I'm just too addicted to it, so I can't sell. Sounds like a right Ponzi scheme or something, doesn't it? But yeah. Right, anyway, so we'll go down the chat. I'll catch up with you later, ads. Gotta fly. Love you, bud. Whoa, them kisses. We put 4 kisses. Oh my god. Well, I have to go back up the chat because I'm well. Oh my god, I'm so. Oh, Beak Newt's in the chat. That's Dave, isn't it? Hi, Dave. I've not seen him on that account for ages, Beak Nuke. Oh my god. Oh right. I'm not too far down the chat actually. Even if you just went for a year, the life experience you will gain and the things you will learn about how profitable your business really is will be valuable. That's an idea, actually. That would probably test me quite a lot. Like, I suppose in that situation of renting somewhere and just completely, you know, just kind of completely being financially independent, that will make or break you, essentially. Like that, you'll essentially just have to buckle down, or you'll just have to like end up getting a job or something anyway. So I think that would actually kind of help me in a way. I don't know. I'm quite a hard worker, but I don't know. I suppose if I was on my own, like if I was on my own in a flat, you know, flat somewhere or wherever, I'd probably end up just working anyway because there's no one around, there's nothing to do, there's not necessarily too many distractions. The only distraction would be like YouTube or Facebook, Instagram and stuff like that. But I feel fairly confident I can manage those distractions okay. YouTube is probably my big one. That's the worst. But Instagram and Facebook, I can manage them fairly okay. So I think I'd probably end up working more than I work now. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's certainly something to consider, and something that definitely, as you say, would give me a valuable experience and really teach me. Basically, I don't know. It would basically teach me to be stronger in who I am, independently speaking, you know? So anyway, we'll have a look down the chat. You started this to buy a house and Doctor Who stuff and crypto and girls. What, right, for one reason, why did I start this to buy girls? You do not buy girls, or maybe you're just saying to get girls, I don't know, but you didn't specifically say get girls. You started this to buy a house and Doctor Who stuff. I didn't start this to buy Doctor Who stuff. I maybe started this, I maybe started this thinking at some point in the future, I don't know, I'm just guessing here, but I maybe thought, oh, well, if this ever takes off, I can buy some nice Doctor Who stuff, or what. Maybe I thought that at some point, I don't know, but, no, but I didn't do this to, start this to buy a house, necessarily. I wouldn't have said I started it to buy Doctor Who stuff, but maybe I had that thought at some point, as I said. I didn't find out about crypto. I was oblivious to crypto for the first year and a half of my reselling, so I definitely didn't do it to do crypto. And as for girls, I don't think I started it to get girls, because I don't know, I was just happy about doing it. I don't know, I don't think I started it for that reason. Although it does tickle the ego a little bit, doesn't it, when you you know, when you put business owner on your Facebook or business owner on your Instagram, and you know, there is that little hint in there, like, oh yeah, I like the sound of that kind of thing. So yeah, but I wouldn't say I did this to get any of those things, really. I mean, the closest one there would probably be the house. Maybe I had an idea that, yeah, if I turn this into a successful business right at the beginning, you know, maybe I had that idea of, oh yeah, well, I could use this to buy a house, use the money to buy a house or whatever. But yeah, I don't think the other three necessarily. I agree, you will get motivated by bills. Yeah, very true. I probably would get motivated by bills. Well, what else are you going to do, really? Like, if you've got X amount of bills and you need to make X amount of money, what are you going to... There's not really any choice you've got to make. You just have to knuckle down and do it, you know? There's not... The only possible other choice is to get a job, you know? And I really don't want to get a job, so I think that my fear of not getting a job, or, well, not my fear of... Well, yeah, I suppose a little bit of fear, but more just my kind of not really wanting a job, just that hatred for getting a job. I think that would motivate me massively to end up doing more in my reselling, and then that helps pay my bills anyway. So yeah, I think you are right there. It would help get me motivated to pay the bills, or the bills would motivate me. Exactly, Ryan. It's lovely to immerse yourself and have fun with no real responsibilities. You started to... Why? What did Ryan say? David McGregor, how much is our dad paying you? Why? What's David say? You need to be able to see if reselling can sustain a proper full-time income for yourself. Oh yeah, I've already read that. I think when you need 1k for a house each month, that will motivate you more than you can imagine. Thoughts, David? Yeah, as I mentioned a minute ago, I think that the whole bills situation, it would motivate me massively, because, you know, as I mentioned, you just can't. There's nothing you can do. You know, you have to pay those bills. You have to get that done. But I don't know. It makes me think that if I have that, is that going to be too much for me? Like, I don't know whether it's gonna. It might massively motivate me, or it might put so much stress on me that I can't handle it, and I don't know what would happen, man. I honestly don't know what would happen. Mental breakdown or something, I haven't a clue. That's what leads me to think, well, if I have more time to do it, or if I end up finding someone else and then we do it together, it's less of that stress, it's less of that emotional burden, it's less of that financial burden, and it's more manageable for both of us. And it's more manageable for myself. But then you have to also think in that line of thought, if you do go down that route of it being less of a burden, does that mean that you become less willing to put more hours in because it is less of a burden, and therefore you end up not spending as much time on your business, you end up not doing as much, and you end up just kind of muddling through kind of thing, and not really fulfilling your true potential? So there's many different ways to look at it, isn't there? There's all these different things. There's these many different personalities, you know, in the world, and there's many different things that will affect those personalities in terms of different people will be able to cope with different things in a different way. And essentially that's going to turn them into someone who is fulfilling themselves completely, or someone who is ultimately quite down, quite depressed, or not necessarily enjoying what they do. So I suppose it just depends on the way I see what's best for me in the future. Like, how will I react best, and how will I fulfill myself in the best possible way in the future, and what route will I go down to enable me to do that and to fulfill my potential in that way. And you never know, actually just going out there and doing this, you know, just buying a house, or you know, went in some place or whatever, that might be the route, and I've just not yet like committed to that fully, you know. So you don't know. I mean, it's definitely, I think maybe there's some choices I've got to make, maybe in the near future, maybe in, you know, I'd say a year or two, that will then lead me on to a path that is more fulfilling, let's say. And that may very well be exactly what I'm doing right now, but just in a different house or in a different place or whatever. Or it might be something completely different. I haven't a clue. I genuinely haven't a clue. But it's quite interesting. Anyway, I'll go down the chat now because I've missed out on so much other stuff. Oh, where are we here? I am going to buy a house with my PayPal capital loan. How much is your PayPal capital loan if you're going to buy a house with it? My God. I mean, and also, shouldn't you be buying stock with that rather than a house? I mean, isn't that like a pretty risky decision? Although, admittedly, I've not done this at all, but admittedly, I did think to myself, it'd be really good if I could get one of them PayPal loans and buy like a 2 or 3 grand's worth of crypto, you know, at these low prices. But oh my God, that would be so risky. That would be like the riskiest thing I could ever do. But yeah, but buying a house, my God, that's... Yeah, but I mean, you've got a PayPal capital not available in Ireland. Oh, is it not available in Ireland? Wow. Yeah, it's okay, Dave. You can get one up to 25,000. So just a dream for me as well. 25k you can get them up to. Wow, that's crazy. My God. But yeah, you could put a deposit down in the house for 25k. My God. But yeah, that is risky because you need it. Generally, you want to be investing it in stock, don't you? Not necessarily buying a house for it, but you know, it's your call, I suppose. I don't know, is there any like contractual obligations, like is there like a contract or whatever that you have to agree to when you're doing a PayPal capital or working capital or whatever it is loan, and maybe you're not allowed to spend it on certain things, or is it just free reign? Like, you would imagine that they'd say this is only allowed to go on your business for X, or this is only allowed to go on your business for X, X, and X. Like, you're allowed to buy equipment for your business, you're allowed to buy stock for your business, you're allowed to buy whatever else for your business, but nothing else. Like, it can't go on a house, or it can't go on this, or because I mean, I see people who are buying cars and stuff with working capital, but I suppose actually, even if they did stipulate the fact that it can only go on equipment and stock in your business, even if you were to buy a car or a house, I'm sure there's some way of accounting for that, basically that fixed asset within your business anyway. I mean, you can certainly do it for a car. I think it would be a bit trickier with a personal premises in terms of a house. But if you were buying a shop front or something, then that would be attributed as a fixed asset within your business. So therefore, it would be as if you're buying a fixed asset or equipment, and therefore any stipulation that PayPal put in the contractual obligation or the contractual agreement or whatever it would be called, it would fulfill that anyway because it's a piece of equipment in your business or whatever. So I suppose there's ways of just getting around it even if there was something like that in there. But yeah, I would probably just spend it on stock. I was very tempted to get one about I don't know, it must have been about 6 months ago. I think I've mentioned it on Thursday Talks as well. I was really thinking I'm going to get one of these loans, etc. And my mum ended up like, oh my God, I was like going back and forth for days and days and days on this. But my mum said to me, like, she proper like put the stoppers on it. And she said to me, basically, you're not doing that loan thing, and if you do, basically, I'm just going to chuck you out or something like that. So I was like, yeah, I probably won't do the loan thing. But I mean, she doesn't like gambling, and she doesn't like borrowing and lending money, and I've already gambled quite a lot, so I thought I better not break the other one. And she knows I've already gambled quite a lot. So I mean, basically, I know crypto is an asset class and it's not actually considered gambling, and now with this new crypto brief that HMRC have done, they don't consider it gambling anyway, but it is very risky, cryptocurrency. So essentially crypto is almost like gambling. So yeah, I don't think my mum would be best pleased if I had done the whole PayPal working capital loan. I didn't need it. I mean, I had like $3,000 in PayPal at the time, and I was considering, I've had about two to $3,000 anyway, between those numbers, and I was considering like getting like a 1K loan or something. It's like, well, hang on a minute, if I've got 2 to 3K in PayPal, why the hell would I want another grand? Like, I've got the money there anyway, why don't I just spend it on stock? But yeah, I've not got 2 to 3 grand in PayPal anymore. My God, nowhere near that. Most of it's gone into crypto. But yeah, I essentially just had loads of money in PayPal, so I didn't need it anyway. But I was still like really tormented. I was like, oh, I really want to get this, and then I was like, oh, I don't know whether I need it though, and all the rest of it. And I was really, conflicted. And I was wondering, well, should I get it? Shouldn't I get it? And it just wasn't necessary for me. If you've not got a lot of money in PayPal, or you've not got a lot of money in your bank, then fair enough, it's perfect for a business that wants an injection of capital, and that'll really get your stock going. You can build up your stock. Obviously, it helps with cash flow and stuff like that. Well, unless you like just spend it straight away or whatever, but I suppose it'll still help with cash flow long term if you were to buy stock with it. But yeah, I just didn't need it necessarily. But it is definitely a big help for a lot of, I would say, like people who have been doing it, 6 months, a year, 18 months, whatever, maybe even 2 years. That's a good sort of time range. You've been doing this for, sort of 0 to 2 years, and you want a little bit more extra money to help the business growth. I know, obviously, so many people who've done it. Zian Beck have done it. I think Ken Chapman's done it a few times. I don't know. Loads of people have done it. I can't even name anymore, but loads of people have done it. But yeah. Also, I wanted to just talk a little bit about something else that I don't think I've talked about on Thursday Talks ever, actually. I'm just going to go down the chat again, though. I've seen PayPal loans well over 70k. Wow, that's crazy. Think you need to concentrate on your effort on paying the heating bill. You're wrapped up well. No, not really. This is, I would say this is fairly, kind of normal layering for me. Oh, my beanie's come down a bit. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. No, this is kind of normal layering for me. This is just, you know, jumper. It's not particularly really thick. And then I've got a shirt and then a t-shirt. But normally I'd have like 4 or 5 layers on this time of year. So I wouldn't say I'm like mega wrapped up for what I normally wear. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just generally a person who wears quite a lot of layers anyway compared to most other people. So yeah, I suppose I am laid up compared with a lot of other people, but for me it's actually quite light on the layers. So what else have we got in there? I see BTC loans that high. Oh god, no. I'm not doing all the Bitcoin loans and stuff. Oh god. And there's all these sites now set up where you can like, you like loan your crypto to them and then they give you Great British Pounds or something, or you loan Great British Pounds to them and they give you crypto. I don't even know how it works, but I don't know. It seems a bit dodgy. It seems like kind of BitConnect all over again. Well, maybe not BitConnect. Maybe that's a bit of an unfair comparison. I don't think it is quite like BitConnect, but it just gives me that vibe, you know, that just that kind of high yield interest platform vibe kind of thing going on. But I don't think it is particularly exactly the same model or anything like that, but it just gives me that little bit of a vibe, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm not doing that. I don't particularly like that, you know? But yeah, there won't be anything that matches up to BitConnect. Well, I hope there won't be anyway. Right then, quickly, oh god, I'm so far down in the chat. My god, I'm far down. Oh god, whoa, there's loads of people joined. Ads, when did you spanner me? I don't know. When did I I don't know. I actually don't know. You know what? I've just realised I've not drank my tea here. Oh, it's going cold now. Well, it always does anyway. Right, so I'll just go, oh my god, I'm so down on the chat. God, it's been going crazy. I am only an ads girl at the weekends. Oh god, what is going on in here? Ads, yes, you can buy girls in some parts here in Blackpool, if you know what I mean, wink wink. Yeah, okay, we all know ladies of the night, or ladies of the street, or what are they called? Night. What are they called? Night. Oh, it's a great word, isn't it? Night, not night owls, night. Well, yeah, ladies of the night, but what's the word? Late night. Oh, I don't know. I forgot. But it's I always think it's quite an elegant way of saying, like, you know, prostitute or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, it's quite an elegant way of putting. What is it? Night. I don't know. No, I don't know. I'm probably gonna screw it up if I say it anyway. How many here are ads girls? I think mainly my like my subscriber base is men. I think I've probably got like 94% men and then 6% girls. I did check it a while ago, but it might have updated maybe a little bit fairer now, so a bit more equal. But no, it was like ages ago. It was like 90% men and then like 5, 6, 7% girls or something. It was pretty crazy. But I don't think I give off that vibe for girls. You know, I think the way I come across, I kind of just connect with the male audience more. I don't know why that is. I mean, actually, that's a good question. Put in the chat now. Do you think I come across... Because this is just trying to fulfill my desire to learn a little bit more about the human mind and psychology and stuff. But do you think I come across more to a male audience? Like, if you're a man, do you think I come across more like... can you feel... more of that vibe, you know, for me? Do you feel like I'm coming across in that way to you? Feel quite connected with you as a man? Or, like the women, do you feel I come across more connected to you, maybe a bit more feminine or whatever? It's interesting just to know. I don't know whether I explained it that well, but hopefully you know what I meant. But yeah, put in the chat now. I will scroll to the bottom and see that in a sec. I'll just very quickly have a look at the other stuff. I'm not going to be able to go through all this chat. I'll pick out the questions if I see any. But my god, there's so much chat. I've never seen so much chat. My god, there's so much of it. Right, okay, I'm near... Right, I can start scrolling back down now. Kim Kelly, I don't know whether I've seen you in the chat before, but hello if you are new. I've bought a van, sitting in it now by the river, listing inexpensive mobile office. Wow, that's cool. We've got trust me girls cost a lot. Oh my god. Oh bloody hell. Check the prices of KY jelly ads. What is that? Is that some? That's not some weird stuff, is it? It's not some weird. I bet it's just some. I don't know, some weird moisturizer or something. How many? Oh my god, my voice is going. I've got a cold, by the way, as well. I don't know whether you can tell. So my voice is actually going today, which is weird. Right. Let's see what else is in here. Stay-at-home ads, no need to move out unless you are unhappy at home. Yeah, but I mean, Ryan and David or whoever it was who was talking about it, like, I think David said to me before about, you know, like, you know, it being, like, not necessarily unfair on my parents, but essentially that, like, it would be nice for them as well if I were to move out as quickly as I can, because essentially I've been living with them for, like, 22 years, so... You know, I think they, and obviously they're getting into they're very slowly getting into a period in their life where, you know, they're getting into that period of, oh, well, we are not necessarily retired yet, but we want to be going on a few more holidays, we want to be chillaxing a little bit more around the house, we don't necessarily want, you know, I'm not a teenager, but we don't necessarily want, like, young people around here or whatever, and, I think it is nice in one respect, or it's at least not selfish, but selfless, to make that decision, you know, of I've got to fly the nest at some point. So I get that side of it of, you know, at some point I've got to fly the nest a little bit, but also there is this kind of feeling of when I jump, I want to make sure I've got enough stamina to make it across, kind of thing, you know, and land with my feet solid on the ground and happy with where I am. So there's all these different conflicted emotions when you're moving out. It's a brilliant time, and I always think it's quite unusual when you come into a new period of your life, because I've had it quite a few times, and we've all had it quite a few times where we go, you know, like we have adolescence and oh, it's horrible, and, you know, for guys, you're getting all sorts of weird things going on down there, and random things pop up, you know, spring up and stuff when you don't want them. I'm sure you know what I mean, if you're a guy. And, you know, terrible, terrible farts that smell ridiculously horrible, and you're sweaty, and you've got acne, and it's all, and what you're going through is you're going through a period of your life, you know, adolescence, you're growing up, and you're absorbing all that kind of time in your life, and you don't realise it at the time. I don't think many people actually really absorb adolescence for what it is until they've got to 19, 20, maybe even, you know, 25 or so, and you look back and you think, oh right, I see that for what it was now. You know, it was a very terrible time and stuff, but I can look back and I think, ah, right, that's kind of the process I was going through, that's how it worked, all the rest of it. And you look back with, I wouldn't say fondness, but you look back with these new eyes, I suppose. So now what I do, because I've already looked back at my adolescence and processed it more, with, you know, an outsider's view, because I'm not going through it anymore. Every time I come into a new period of my life, like right now I'm coming into this period of my early 20s, obviously that sort of flying the nest period of building my own life and all the rest of it, I'm now starting to try and think and absorb these new periods of my life in a huge way. And, you know, some periods of my life that I really, really want to absorb and I really, really can't wait for. Well, I suppose I can wait, but I really will be very passionate for when I get there is, you know, sort of early 50s. I'll be very, very passionate about that, and, you know, my sort of slowly winding down into retirement. And then when I get to retirement, I'll be very, very passionate about retirement. And because I've always felt older than I am. You know, like when I was 15, I always felt 30. And right now, when I'm 22, but I feel 40. So, and sometimes I speak like a 40-year-old. I don't have the experience to back it up, but sometimes I speak like a 40-year-old. And because I don't have the experience to back it up, I come across like I'm just a cocky kid who's trying to act like a 40-year-old, But really, I do feel 40 inside my head. It's weird. It's weird. I can't really describe it, but yeah. So like when I'm like 50 or 60, I really appreciate being 50 or 60 because I'll have already felt 50 or 60 from the time I was 30. So then I can actually realise my dream and I can really start to feel really comfortable in that period of my life as well. And I'm not saying that would mean I won't feel comfortable in my 30s or I won't feel comfortable in my 20s. I do feel comfortable now and I absolutely love experiencing my youth and how amazing my body is. Like, you know, for me personally, like I've had this cold the last few days. It's not affected. All my grandparents have had colds and stuff. It's not affected me in half as much of a bad way as it's affected them because obviously I'm a lot younger. So I very much enjoy my youth and I try to look at it quite you know, break it down for what it is and really understand. Look, your body is at its peak right now. And, you know, you need to capitalise on that. You need to understand that, look, you did have this brilliant, wonderful opportunity right now. And when you get older, try not to regret what you didn't do, or try not to regret too much about what you did when you're younger. Because if you do most of the things you can do with your body, physically and exercise and all the rest of it when you're younger, then when you're older, you can relax down and you can experience all the positive things that old age has to offer, like wisdom and mentality and all these different things that you build up, you know, the experience. Because like when you're younger, you can do some things and you get them wrong, but then someone, you know, the same person when they're older will draw on the wisdom of the years that they have, and they can just do things in the way that they know are correct because they've made the mistakes previously, and that wisdom is something very, very powerful, and that's why I really have always, and I think it's because I've spent so much time around old people as well, I've always massively respected older people, and I've always considered them very, very powerful people, even though they may not be powerful in their physicality. They are incredibly, incredibly powerful in their wisdom, in their mentality, and, you know, I think that these days a lot of young people don't respect older people as much, but I feel like you really have, because also they've seen a lot more of life than you. Like, they've seen, like, for example, like people who are, you know, 75 or whatever, they've seen a lot more. Whatever field they're in and whatever field you aspire to be in, let's just go with reselling for example. A 75-year-old right now will have seen reselling, if they've been in it for 50 years, they'll have seen reselling way before the internet. They'll have had probably client lists and stuff like that. And I've not experienced that. So me being able to talk to and gain wisdom and experience from a 75-year-old who's been in the business for 50 years, that's crazy. I mean, that's an insane amount of knowledge that I could pick up. And it means that from their wisdom, I can not necessarily, you know, I can't necessarily speed up my own wisdom-making process, because wisdom, I do firmly believe, actually comes from life experience and mistakes. So even though they could tell me all their wisdom, I might not completely be at one with it until I've gone through the same experiences that they had to go through that led them to their wisdom. So even if they told me it, I wouldn't necessarily be able to avoid the mistakes, because I might still be young and cocky and I might feel like, oh, well, actually, he's told me this, but I think I can do it this way anyway. And that's what I've done quite a few times, actually. I've gone against advice people have given me because, as I say, I'm young and cocky. But if I didn't make those mistakes, I couldn't get to be 75, tell the new young and cocky person how to do it, and then that leads them to make the same mistakes because they're young and cocky and won't listen to me, and then the whole circle goes round again and round and round again, and that's how life works. And it's a beautiful a way of being able to get to a state in your life when you're older where you are very experienced in the field that you've chosen, because you were young and cocky once and you made all the mistakes you needed to give you the wisdom to become a master of whatever it is in your old age. That's generally how it works. So I always try and live with my youth and be young and cocky and take those bold decisions that a lot of old people wouldn't necessarily say are the best things, but I also do take on board the wisdom that older people give me, because I do still know it is valuable to me, and in certain situations it may lead me down the right path anyway. There may be certain situations where I do decide to take the advice, and it helped me out, but not necessarily in all situations, because, as I say, some situations I'm just going to be young and cocky, because that's who I am at the moment, you know, for another, I don't know, say 20 years, 10 years, 20 years, because generally it's like by the time you're about 40 it starts to, you know, plateau a little bit, but you know, I don't mean necessarily you know, you can still be young and cocky at 35, because you see all these gurus, don't you, online. They're like 30, 35, and they're still young and cocky, even though they're not that young anymore. They still act like that and stuff. Anyway, enough of my ramblings. I just talk crap, don't I, half the time? I don't even know why people listen to me. Maybe you don't listen to me, I don't know. Depression and anxiety gets in my way of getting a job, which is why I love self-employment. Yeah, that's true for me as well. Very true, especially over the last few months. Work super hard on my good days and take it easy on my not so good days. Yeah, that's a good one. Stay with parents. I had to do 16 hours a day for a year. Wow, that's crazy. Just to get a deposit saved in 2013. Get out of high extraordinary private rent. I moved out because I needed my space and could not deal with the grief of always getting lectured about going out. Oh my, I was 18. Wow, that was crazy. That must have been hard for you two then, Z. So yeah, Beck was 20, so I was 21 when that happened. Wow. So that must have been hard, like, to basically live financially independent from such a young age, because that's like 4 years younger than my age now, so I couldn't imagine doing that. Because at 18, oh my God, at 18, God, I was going through a really weird period. I got involved with the wrong crowd. I was basically... you know, I was smoking, I was doing vaping, I had done, you know, weed and marijuana and all the rest of it. I was going to parties. We went to this massive barn party once, and the police turned up, and it was this massive barn. It was about 40 foot high, and there was about, I don't know, it said in the paper, I think there was about 200-300 people there, and basically they just advertised it on Facebook, and it just went mental, and we got there, and there was just huge amounts of people there, and then I walked into the barn. The barn was kind of like off limits, and the reason it was off limits is because they were doing drugs in there, right? So I walk into, I'm just dead cocky. I'm like, I've got my beer in my hand. I'm just like, well, let's see what's in here. Because when I drink, I get really cocky. Like I just go round like literally everywhere. I just walk round and just randomly go to people and speak to them and hug them and all the rest. You know what it's like when you drink. You just get like over the top, don't you? And you know how over the top I am when I'm sober. Just imagine that like crazy when I'm drunk. So, you know, I just walked into this bar, and then the room is just filled, like, it's just a hot boxed room of just bloody smoking weed and everything. And I was like, oh God, what the hell is going on in here? And then we were like, oi, go out, and all the rest of it. I was like, right, okay. I knew the guys in there, but I shut the door. Anyway, so the police turned up, and this was the best thing. This is one of the best nights of my life, right? So police turn up, and I'm with my friend Ryan, who's, I think, has been on here. And the police, there's like 3 or 4 police cars, right? All, like, this is down a long country road. So there's a massive long country road. The barn is like behind a load of trees and everything. And someone calls the police. I think it was the guy's dad, because it basically set it up. Because they're on like a farm, and we had this big barn. And his dad thought it was just getting way out of control, so he ended up calling the police on his own son. And basically the police came out with all these big, like, massive lights, and they were escorting everyone out down this road. It must have been more than 200 people now I think, come to mention it, escorting all these people down. And I was trying to find Ryan, because I didn't know who he was, and I was like semi-drunk. I wasn't mega drunk. I was like, I need to find Ryan, because I'm looking after him. He's a couple of years younger than me. And he walked out, this was so funny. He was like, he walks out like he's stumbling, like he's proper like drunk. And one of the police guys shines the light right in his eye, and then he goes over to the police guy. He doesn't actually grab the light off him, because I'm like, you know, trying to get to him quick. Like, whoa, what you doing? Don't bloody touch him or anything. You'll get thrown in a cop car or something here. So he goes like, don't you dare shine that light on me. You're not allowed to do that. So I was like, right, come on, Ryan, let's go. Don't aggravate him. And then he keeps trying to go back to the police guy, and then we're all walking down this long country road. I'm telling you, this is a mile long, this country road. You should have seen the amount of people. It was epic. It was in the paper like 2 days later. There was this country road. I remember it vividly. I was walking back with a group of our friends, right? You would just walk down this road. The cop cars have shined the light right down the road, right? And then there was another cop car right at the end of the country road shining the light this way. And you could see these two bright lights either side and all the silhouettes of everyone walking down the road, like 200-300 people, all these silhouettes. It was immense. It was so good. But yeah, I wasn't in the place when I was 18 to move out. No way, no way. I was like, you know, I was a different guy back then, definitely. But yeah, I've matured. I like to say I've matured, you know. But anyway, so I'll have a look in the chat and see what else is going on. I think that we're gone over the hour as well. But I wanted to say, oh yeah, that was it. I wanted to scroll down to the chat because I wanted to see that thing about the male-female thing. Breathe, ads, breathe. I know. I can't see that male-female thing. Did anyone put the male-female thing in the chat? I was meant to look down. Oh, damn it. I've gone to ads, girls, tell him. Got to go, mate. Oh, I don't know. No one said. Very camp. Very camp. Why? What? Oh, I don't know. I can't see where that girl-guy thing is. I don't know. No, I can't see where that girl-guy thing is. Sure, give it a listen. Ladies of ads, night, you know, escort, like, no, not escort. Night walkers, no, not, it wasn't night walker, night crawler, no, it wasn't that. I don't know, I can't see where people were putting, whether I connect to guys or girls in the chat more, I can't remember. Oh, Tom's in, hi Tom. We're just talking random crap today, by the way. Stop slagging ads. It's not like you guys are burly lumberjacks or anything. Why? Oh, God. Why? Who's put? I can't see. There's so much chat today. I can't see. God, I don't know how Nick and Tom go on. I mean, Nick and Tom. Nick and Z go on. Yeah, I can't see who else. Anyway, right, I'll go down the chat. My God, there's so much chat in here. When I started full-time work, it was $1.32 an hour. Wow, that must have been ages ago. You can talk as much crap as you like, ads. I've had the show muted. No, just kidding. What? Yeah, I was going to say you can't have the show muted. Used to love an illegal wave. Oh, it was funny. Oh, bloody hell. Right, breathe ads, breathe ads. That is it. My life is over. Ads is more than a party animal than me. Well, no, I wasn't necessarily a party animal. I just got involved with a few, I wouldn't say wrong crowds, but just, you know, the wild people. You know, like a few of the people in high school where you'd be like, ooh, you might not want to get involved with them or whatever. I just got involved with them a little bit more. But yeah, anyway, so I'll sign off in a minute. If there's any more questions in the chat, then please do put them in. I was trying to find that thing about the guys and the girls, but I can't find that in the chat. I don't know. I don't know whether anyone actually put it in the chat. But that obviously that did my karma because I forgot to scroll down the chat at the time I was saying it. I should have scrolled down the chat. I so badly want some Kobe beef, just too poor for it. What's Kobe beef? Is that like really expensive? I think you're very in touch with your feminine... Oh, there we go. Here's some of it. I think you're very in touch with your feminine side. Your emotional intelligence is easy for women to empathise with. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's it. I wouldn't have thought that, but okay. Well, I can't see anything else in there about that, so I'm guessing that was like the only person to comment on that, but that's okay. When you're 50, 60, you will feel like you're 90/dead. Maybe. We are the youth of the nation. What's that song? I have the body of God, just a shame it's Buddha. Oh God, that's funny. Bloody hell, there's some zingers in here today. Oh, is Lex in there? Hi Lex. Hello Kittens, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom is on, so not staying. That's fair enough. Well, okay, I think I'll go now anyway. Ads and the Wild Bunch. I have commented on guys and gals. Yeah, I saw that, Duchess. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know whether anyone else did. I couldn't see anything there, but that's quite interesting, actually. So yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please do give it a like down below. I will be back very soon. I've not really got a whole video or anything, so I don't know what video I'm going to do. I might just do a random one. I don't know, I might go charity shopping soon and then maybe just put together a very small haul if I get anything. But I will need a video going out because I'm getting stressy about it because I've not got a video planned. And then I'll do a sales update or something after the next video. So I'll leave it there, guys. Don't forget, like it down below as I mentioned. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. So I will see you very soon. See you very soon, guys. Oh, and also, if I don't see you before, which I probably will do, but if you don't see you before, have a great New Year's Eve and, you know, all the rest of it, and we will see you in 2019 as well. Anyway, actually, next week will be 2019 when we do the Thursday talk, so I will see you then. So, see you very soon, guys.